Yeah, I'm playing Bob Fosse, as you might know, and you
Yes, you
did
are.
Chicago.
Yes.
So we have something in common, which I watched recently
Oh, you did.
because
Oh,
I'm
yes,
too
fun.
lazy and I wasn't going to read the play or go to see it on stage. So I watched it, and you were great in it. You're great in it, and it's really good. And it
Thanks so much.
educated me on the plot again. And how
Oh,
was
right.
how was the preparation for the dancing in that? It was pretty rigorous.
It was fantastic.
Yeah,
It was Broadway boot camp.
it was Broadway
We
boot
spent
camp.
a couple months up on a makeshift stage on a loading dock in Canada, in Toronto. And Rob Marshall and John DeLuca had their team, some of their best longtime dance partners from
Yeah.
Broadway down there.
Do you remember a woman named Marianne Lamb or Susie Meisner by any chance? They helped us with Fosse. They were part of it. But
Yes, I do
yeah,
remember
yeah,
Marianne
yeah. She's a
and Susie.
she's a
Yeah, I
beast.
do. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So gifted.
yeah.
Such talented dancers.
She taught me sort of fundamental
The language?
Fosse. Yeah, but you guys are doing
Yeah.
Rob Marshall choreography. Right?
Yeah, an adaptation.
Yeah.
He took Fosse and sort of expanded on it.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of the original, vocabulary incorporated into the dances.
Did it beat you up? Did you get those cramps in the middle of the night?
We didn't have the middle of the night. We just kind of worked around the clock. So
Yeah.
didn't realize what a blessing it was until
Yeah.
now. But I don't remember. I just remember joy. It was just joyful.
Yeah.
I know we were working hard,
Yeah.
but it didn't feel like work. I'm
Was
sure
he
you're having
choreographing
that.
too? Rob was
Rob,
choreographing? Or
yeah,
his
together, he
his
and John.
husband.
Yeah.
Yeah,
uh-huh.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And
Right.
yeah, I mean, they've been doing it for so long that it's just,
Yeah.
second nature to them. And what fun to be around that. I mean, you must know. Isn't
Yeah.
it something?
Yeah,
Isn't
it's
it
amazing.
extraordinary?
It's extraordinary. And as Michelle Williams said, she said one day she was like, they walk away and they seem like normal people, but these dancers are like superheroes.
Yeah.
What they can do with their bodies.
Yeah,
is
it's
extraordinary.
unbelievable. It's a different kind of communication entirely.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's remarkable. And the years and years of training and discipline, it shows. But yeah, like she said, they walk away and it's kind of,
Yeah.
you don't know until they turn it on.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to be around.
It is wonderful because they don't complain. Like they're like stunt people.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to complain.
No, there's no fatigue.
They're soldiers.
That's it. We're just gonna, and there's no can't do.
Yeah.
You're just gonna try it and keep trying it until it
Yeah.
works. Yeah.
No, it's some of the hardest working people I've ever seen. Like
Yeah, I agree
Olympic
with you.
athletes.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And did you find that it kind of changed the way that you thought about your work without the dance incorporated into it?
Yeah, well, the work ethic, right? Is that what you mean? Kind
Well,
of.
that and also the way that you express yourself. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
You did a couple of numbers in the Fosse Verdon.
A little bit, not as
piece.
much as Michelle Williams, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I did a lot of training beforehand. But yeah, I mean, I've always been a physical kind of actor, but I
Yes,
was
you
a
have.
huffer before, but not like this, and I'm
Uh-huh.
sure you were too. But like, this is serious huffing. This is
Yeah.
serious dancing.
Yeah, a different
But yeah,
discipline.
I think we're both physical actors.
Yeah.
We express, right? Don't you think?
Yeah. Oh, yes, I think so. I mean, I find that it's more interesting when you find a way to express something subtly, physically, without the words. I
Yeah.
think you say so much more with the way that you move or you don't move than you do sometimes with a line.
Absolutely. Did you find that with, like, for example, like Chicago as opposed to like Bridget Jones, the way you would walk into a room would be completely different, I would imagine, right? I mean, you probably, I don't know if Chicago would be like your, head forward or whatever, and Bridget Jones, maybe, would that be more
Oh, completely.
the
Oh, yeah.
antithesis, right?
Oh, yeah, completely. Yeah. Well, she's kind of she's kind of blissfully unaware. She's
Yeah.
one of those beautifully, I guess, not self-conscious and not self-editing people.
Yeah.
She speaks of it. She talks about self-editing all the time, but she's miserably bad at it. And
Yeah.
so there's a childlike freedom with how she physically exists in the world, which is so much fun to play. But you do that in everything that you do.
Well, thanks.
You
Thank
do.
you.
You kind of
Thanks.
you don't have any sort of limitations to what it is that you'll try physically. And I so appreciate that, because if it wasn't fun before you came on screen, it's going to be fun when you do.
Thanks.
It's true.
Thanks a lot.
No, it's true. It's so much fun to
Do you
see.
find that, thank you.
Yeah.
Do you find that, I'm a big fan of yours, and big fan of yours, but do you find that, like, when you were working, for example, you do this flawless British accent,
Oh, geez.
and
This is where the
Bridget
interview
Jones.
gets awkward.
No, but you do, and there's a big
you.
stigma with American actors because of, Dick Van Dyke and all that. But I think that it's your accent was amazing, and I wondered if you were intimidated. And I also wondered, when I work on accents, I have a dialect coach, and then I always think it's like I work on, like, I kind of have to separate, compartmentalize. Like even Chuck Barris, like do the impersonation,
Yeah.
and then work on the acting separately, and then you kind of merge the two eventually. Do you do that
yeah,
kind of thing?
Different jobs.
You
yeah.
just do it as Renee,
Yeah.
and then throw the British accent on. Like how do you approach that? Because I feel like you get sometimes in other words, if the impression takes over, then you miss out on the soul of the character, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. I just, I don't know. I guess if you want to talk, I guess looking at it as a process, I like it to just disappear. I like everything to become such a habit that I don't think about it anymore.
Yeah.
So that whatever it is you're trying to communicate in the moment can be, I don't know, in the moment and authentic, Because if you're busy calculating all of the lists of things that you're supposed to be getting right in that moment, there's no possible way to be truthful or to transcend whatever it is that's going on in the room,
No, that's right. That's what I like too. That's that kind of seamless thing, like the Duvall and Tender Mercies, or like Meryl Streep and Silkwood, or that kind of. I think you and I have the same aesthetic with that.
Well, it's self-preservation, really, isn't it?
It's self-preservation, survival.
It's like, I gotta get that done.
But you don't want to see the acting.
Don't want to see it.
Yeah, you want to. Yeah.
Don't want to see it. And when it comes to accents and things like that, I like to marry it to the text pretty early on, because you can get a cadence and sort of get into a habit with hearing that come out of your mouth.
Yes.
Because if you don't,
that's what I mean.
Right. If you don't
compartmentalize it a little bit.
If you don't spend the time doing that, then the first time it comes out of your head, it's so distracting that you forget what it is you're trying
to sit in your intention.
Yeah. And whatever feeling it is that you're conjuring is completely lost to. I sound like such a jerk right now. I'm such a fraud.
Or you sound like a jerk, or you fall in love with a line reading, and you're like, that's the way it should sound every time, and then
that's all I'm doing today.
Yeah, no, it's true. Boom, 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 boom.
When do I find out if I got this part or not?
You already got this part. Yeah, the part before you walked in here.
Well, why didn't you just say so when I came in here?
You didn't ask. So this is your first TV series, and this is kind of my first one, but I did episodic stuff. Did you ever do episodics early on before?
No, I didn't.
Never did any like Law and Order or ER or anything?
No. But it's probably not because I didn't want to. It's because nobody got me a job. I'm sure I tried.
I tried too.
I'm sure I tried.
Knows. Yeah.
But,
do you got any good audition stories, or like stuff you got?
Oh gosh.
Rejected
I
from?
was thinking about that a lot recently with the history of things that are going on in our community right now with the current reset and everything, and not really. I don't. I mean, I have things where I felt like a jerk because I just watched myself spiraling.
You must have gone in for some big something. But I remember going in for ER.
Oh,
and that was terrible for Noah Wiley's part, I think.
Why was it bad? What'd you do?
I came in with a lab coat, and I kind of overdid
Did you have a
it.
stethoscope?
Talk about gilding the lily.
Did you bring a patient with you?
I'll tell you what I did bring is a hypodermic needle, but without the needle, just the plastic part. And I think it freaked them out. They looked at me like I was from Mars.
Did you show a little too much expertise in knowing how to use it? I mean, because that might give them pause.
I think I did. I didn't have the needle part, so I wasn't a complete psycho.
We won't be able to insure him, get him out of here. That's funny. No, I had this meeting the other day with Mark Gordon, the producer Mark Gordon, and he reminded me that we had met some 25 years ago or something on Broken Arrow. Do you remember when that movie was floating around?
Yeah, that's
It was John Travolta, right?
John Travolta. Yeah.
So, so Broken Arrow, and I remember that audition. I remember getting in my car driving home and thinking, "You're such a jerk." It had one of those fight scenes where you had to fight, but there wasn't anybody else in the room, so you had to improvise that you're fighting.
Oh yeah, I've done that. Yeah, that's hysterical. You're like beating up the air.
Yeah,
You're like kicking the casting director's couch.
Like,
or something. That's the worst, man.
Because in your brain, there's no getting around that you look stupid. You just look stupid. Yeah, and I'm not in that movie, so there you go. Yeah, that was a good one.
So what's it like working on the show? How do you feel about it?
I had fun. It was a lot of fun. And you know what was really interesting? What really surprised me was everybody was telling me, get ready. They were saying, oh, you better get ready because TV, the pace of TV is like, whew.
Yeah, bang, bang.
But haven't you found that making movies in the last few years has been kind of the same?
Sure. Yeah, no, it is. It's exactly right. I mean, I found it like, I did 8 episodes and I found it like just making 4 independent movies.
Yeah.
It was just like we made 4 independent movies, but we made them in a row. That's kind of how it was the same pace as you say, like 3, 4 takes sometimes.
Yeah. That's what it looked like, actually. It looked like film to me. It looked like film.
Good. I mean, that's good. Thanks.
And that's pretty funny to me when we were talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
That's a good way to get your movie made
It's
these
a
days.
sneaky way to make. Yeah, it's a sneaky way to make a movie. That's right. A long movie.
Call it television.
Yeah.
I was really surprised because now it seems like the way that you get your movie made is that you lie and you say, oh, yes, no, we can do this 12 weeks of work in 3 weeks, no problem. No problem.
Yeah.
And then you just.
Well, that is the thing. I mean, it does, you really don't have enough time to, but somehow you figure it out. But you're right, it is kind of like the way independent films have been sort of going for a long time.
Which I love, by the way.
It's fun, it's exciting.
That process. It is.
I don't know about for 8 months, but it's exciting for like 2 months.
Right. But I love keeping going. I love that you keep going and that you kind of have to be courageous in the choices that you make in the moment because you might not get to do it again,
That's right. The adrenaline of losing the light and all that kind of stuff.
I love that. I love it, that you're not going to have time to do whatever it is, and so let's just keep going. You have to be so prepared to, ready to make some choices that are going to.
You ever had that, like, it's a Friday night and there's a big emotional scene and they're like, we can shoot this Monday or we can get it, it's midnight, we can do it now, Do you ever have that kind of thing?
No time like the present.
No time like the present. Let's just do it, right?
Oh, yes, please. Don't make me hold my breath till, Sunday. Yeah. Oh, no, for sure.
We got 20 minutes.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that's kind of my attitude, too.
Yeah. Oh, no, let's do it. Kamikaze all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because you don't know how long it's going to take to get back to that place where you are in that moment.
Yeah.
Or if you can, even. Because it's not something that you can call up on the phone and order. Sometimes it shows up or it doesn't.
Exactly.
And you do your best to conjure whatever it is that feeling is.
Yeah.
And some days, you just sadly have to fake it.
Yeah, some days it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
So, why chance it? I think I literally just cried my face off. Laughing. I laughed my face off.
I am willing to sever all ties with you regardless of the consequences if that's what I have to do to protect Sean.
Well, that may be the story that you tell yourself. But down deep, on an instinctive level, you're more committed than you realize.
I'm going to ask you a really complicated 2-part question. You ready?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, I wanted to know if there was a difference for you in doing television versus films and what your experience was with that, and why you decided to do TV. Okay, I lied. It's 3 parts. And what made you want to do Fosse Verdon as your first TV film?
Well, I got Tommy Kail, who directed Hamilton.
Yes,
he and I are buddies, and he's awesome. And he was our fearless leader. And he and I we were in London in this hotel, and he said, "Hey, let's do some TV thing." And he brought me the book Fosse. He said, "Lin-Manuel's doing it," and I said, "I'm in. Let's do it." I was like immediately, I don't know what it was. I just kind of had this identification with Bob Fosse, and I can't explain why, but I just felt like it was in my wheelhouse for some reason. I couldn't tell you why exactly, but I felt like I could do it. you know, we're both kind of slight and wily, and you know, there's similarities. So I thought it was a good fit. And then, you know, as we said before, it's a sneaky way to make a movie because you're doing 4 movies essentially,
Yeah.
right? Because each one's an hour, and so it's 4 independent movies. So, and I knew it's inevitable, TV, you know, and when we started out, TV was much different,
Yeah.
and now it's the quality has just gone through the roof. So, yeah, so that was it,
Yeah, it makes sense.
you know?
Sort of like the writers went first
Yeah.
because they saw that
Yeah.
they had opportunity to make their own stuff, and then the
Yeah.
directors followed, and then
Exactly.
here we go. Yeah, like you said, it was inevitable. And when I think about it, I don't really think about it as a medium. It's just the material,
It's just the
you
material,
know,
and
because the process is the same.
process is the same, and
Yeah.
people see it.
Yeah.
A
Oh,
lot of people see it.
that's
too,
true.
you know, which
That's
is
true.
kind of nice. What made you do What If? How do you like working with Netflix, and what's
Oh,
that like?
yeah. Oh, that's been a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
really liked it. Stay
Yeah.
home, that's weird. Filming in Los Angeles and
Yeah.
going to your own house at night, that was interesting.
Yeah, that's cool.
No, I met Mike Kelly about it. I liked the premise. I like what motivates him to write. I like that he's sort of inspired by big social events that sort of shift where we are as a culture. Like he did Revenge based on the Count of Monte Cristo and also the Madoff scandal.
Yeah, that was
And
really good.
he was talking to me about where we are right now amidst this sort of um, socio-ideological divide. And he thought how interesting to explore all of the choices that we make out there, as internationally we seem to be, I don't know, testing the parameters of our morality.
Yeah.
The choices that we make as individuals as we're trying to, I don't know, expand on our own lives in some way to foster our own successes, what sort of maybe concessions we'll make in our own moral, I guess, paradigms in order to get a little bit of an advantage with whatever it is that we want. And it felt so relevant to me.
Yeah.
And he talked about the characters that he likes to write and how they're sort of subversive, that they're so much more complicated than they reveal themselves to be on the surface, that that they bend over backwards to hide who they really are. And I find those characters to be the most interesting to play. So I thought, yeah, let's go.
And what about your character?
Oh,
Why do you
well,
like your character?
he said, okay, think Anne Bancroft in The Graduate. So
That's
that
great.
was
Oh,
my,
that's great.
I'm there moment.
That's
He
great.
said, now imagine that she didn't channel all of her dissatisfaction and self-loathing into alcoholism, but into creating a new identity for herself. All that power that she sort of, I don't know, sort of, I guess, wastes on the young man down the street.
Yeah.
What if she instead created an empire for herself? What if instead she, I don't know, figured out a way to manipulate the world instead of the other way around? And
Yeah.
I thought, when do we start this show? Let's go. And then, of course, it comes down to the people. I liked Mike Kelly. Don't you find that
That's great. Yeah,
you're making your decisions more and more on, oh
Yeah.
I want to spend time with that person.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and who's got follow through on what they say they're gonna do, and
Yeah.
Tommy Kail has follow through, and Michelle Williams is amazing. And
What a team.
incredibly open. Yeah,
So gifted.
yeah. I mean, she's transformational. She's great.
Yeah, the two of you together. What knockout.
Yeah, she's
What a
something.
knockout. No spoilers, but the scene, the scene backstage early on, I think it was
Yeah.
in episode 2.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't even talk about it because I will. I'll be a big spoiler. But are you kidding me? I mean, that's work at its finest, in my opinion.
Thanks for saying that.
No,
Thanks
it's
for saying
true.
that.
It's true. Just,
Speaking of work at its finest, what about Appaloosa? Can you tell me about that?
Oh,
I've done like
man.
3 westerns. They're tough to do.
they're so great. You go to work. There's horses.
There's sun.
You know, there's a
The
lot of sun.
horses are like,
There's a
they
lot
ain't
of
cars,
sun.
horses.
No, that's the truth. You know, I love it. And you're going to be dusty and dirty, and that's fine. And that's my
Yeah.
favorite.
What had that
love it.
happen? You met Ed Harris and
I did. I
you
met
got
Ed
Vigo,
Harris.
man. Vigo's the
Actually,
coolest.
He's the coolest. Have you seen his photography?
Yeah.
Have you seen his
No.
paintings? Heard his
I think
music?
I have seen a little bit
Not
of it.
crazy?
I know he's a
He's a
Renaissance man.
wunderkind. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I mean, to talk about two cool dudes.
Not a bad day in New Mexico, I have to say.
Yeah.
Driving to work every day.
You're in Santa Fe or Albuquerque?
We were in Santa Fe, just outside Santa Fe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
oh, man, it was so great.
And your character was a really cool character. I mean,
She was naughty.
she was naughty. Can you
She's
talk
really
about that
naughty.
a little bit?
Oh, sure.
Was that
yeah.
fun to do that?
Oh, man. Not knowing who she is.
Yeah.
So exciting.
At first, you think she's one thing,
Yeah.
and then she turns, yeah.
Poor little victim. Poor little victim.
Yeah.
She's just scrappy survivor, you
Yeah.
know? Scrappy survivor. And, yeah, there's a series of books, you know? And
Yeah.
boy, would I love to revisit that. What a lot of fun. I learned a lot. We had a great time.
I loved all the scenes with the etiquette and the way you guys would, sit down, the way he would treat you, and the saucers and mugs and milk and all those little details were great.
In the middle of no man's land.
In the middle of no man's land, everything was very civilized in the
Right.
restaurant.
Right?
Yeah, that was really cool. That was really cool.
I love that. Of course you noticed that. Of course you noticed that. See?
Good movie.
See?
I don't like to drink alone. Pour yourself a whiskey.
Can't. Company rules.
Won't tell if you won't.
What do you remember from your Oscar night?
Didn't fall down the stairs.
That's right. I thought about that too. You don't want to fall up down the stairs,
Don't
man.
fall downstairs. I don't really remember it that much.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
remember.
a bit of a wash.
Yeah, I don't remember what I said.
Yeah.
Sean Penn. I remember Sean Penn. I remember Sean
What do you
Penn.
remember about Sean Penn?
Well, when you look out from the stage, everything is kind of it's like a freeze frame. Did you
Yeah.
experience that? It's kind of like a freeze frame, and your ears are kind of ringing, and
Yeah.
this is really happening kind of way.
Yeah.
It sort of is like when you fall down the stairs.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's adrenaline. It's a
Kinda
major
stands still.
adrenaline
Yeah,
rush.
time kind of stands still, and you're a little beside yourself. Yeah, and it looked like the Sgt. Pepper's album cover. Sean Penn was right in the middle. And there-
Yeah.
You know.
It's surreal. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you
What-
stop breathing.
Yeah, a little bit. And it's funny because you think, you wonder, I didn't have any expectation that it would feel like that it would have that kind of an effect, that I would be overwhelmed in that way. Had no expectation of that. 'Cause
Yeah.
we get to do the job.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the win. The triumph is, hey, come to Romania, or come to
Yeah.
come Toronto and
Get to
come
work with
with
Vigo
all these
or
Broadway
whoever.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
to me, that's, I'll forget in the middle of that process that, oh, this is going to be for public consumption and people are going to see this.
Yeah.
And then, oh, there's that other thing where you go and you talk about it and you share it with people,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a different thing entirely. I forget that part.
No, it is. It's really, it's crazy. It's crazy. I did this play where I had to lasso. It was a play that made Ed Harris famous, Fool for Love, Sam Shepard play. And I used to have nightmares that Ed Harris would come on a night when I lassoed like shit. And he came one night, and we had a tequila, and he was really nice. And thank God I lassoed really good that night. But I remember just sweating. When's Ed Harris coming? He's gonna, because he originated this part
That's fantastic.
years ago, and I was like, oh God, I literally have nightmares like roping bed when Ed Harris.
So
comes.
fantastic. You've
Yeah.
told him that, I hope.
I think I might have told him that. I think I mentioned it, but he was really nice.
He is a nice guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And he really can ride and rope.
Yeah.
He?
No, he can really cowboy.
He really
Yeah,
can cowboy. Yeah, he lives out there, doesn't he?
yeah.
On his ranch with all his, he lives
does?
That, yeah, oh yeah, he lives
Yeah,
that life.
that doesn't surprise me.
No, it's pretty real. Wait, you said something. Plays.
Yeah, you doing a play anytime soon?
I don't know. Maybe.
When's the last time you did?
Never.
You tread the never
Never.
done a play?
High school.
surprises me.
High school children's theater.
You seem like a stage actor.
Oh, thank you.
Where did you you train with somebody though? You trained who'd you train with?
No, I didn't train.
You didn't train at all?
Uh-uh.
You're kidding.
No, I didn't
I
train.
find that shocking because you have such technique.
Oh, that's a nice thing to say.
You didn't do any like
Thanks.
Strasbourg shit or anything?
Mm-mm.
Meisner stuff? Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I read the books because I wanted to know what people were talking about,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
they were
yeah.
referencing. And I
You-
have a girlfriend who went to
But you
the
have such
actor's
craft,
circle.
so that's surprising. I mean, you just figured it out.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow.
I guess so. Yeah, I don't know.
College? Nothing in college? No.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
No, I took an acting class, which was basically that we would sort of perform our own material.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And that was kind of it.
Wow, that's
So I
wild.
could graduate because I needed my fine arts credit. but no,
Wow.
I didn't study. I was busy before. I was busy.
Yeah, sure.
And it was an accident, really. I went to write. I went to the University of Texas because I wanted to be a journalist.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
How about that?
this has all been a
That's
huge
crazy.
mistake. No.
I don't think, no. I don't think Jeff, I could be wrong. I don't think Jeff Bridges has done theater either.
I'd like
He's
to.
doing pretty good.
Oh yeah, he's doing all right, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing all
Oh,
right.
he's fantastic. But I had to ask you, in 2010, you did the play with Christopher Walken.
Yeah, yeah. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw
Oh my
that.
God. Yeah, that was so fun.
It was so fun.
That was so fun.
Something with the hand.
Yeah, the behanding of Spokane.
Yes.
Yes, yes. And then we got to do a movie together. We got to do Seven Psychopaths. Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, he's
Now,
awesome. He's amazing.
He's amazing. But the two of you together,
Yes.
that was, I mean,
Oh man.
I'd watch you
know,
guys anywhere.
we,
anything.
We hit it off, me and
I
Chris.
can imagine. Now, did you ever have a moment where you kind of lost it and you needed to turn your back to the audience? I knew it.
Oh, on stage with him?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, several
I
nights.
knew it.
No, because he would.
thought, this is wonderful what's
Yeah.
happening right now because he's hiding that so beautifully. That's wonderful.
What's that? Who's that?
No, you.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you
Um,
with Christopher on stage.
Oh, yeah. We
More him
lost
than you, though.
We
he-
lost it a few times. We would surprise each other a lot, yeah. We'd stick to the lines, but we would just do weird things to kind of shake each other up. But he and I liked that.
Like what? What did you?
He would just do weird things that he hadn't done the night before because we were bored and we wanted to shake it up, and so we would. I can't remember specifically, but we would definitely throw little wrenches in there, to kind of shake it up.
It did look like you were having a great time.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Do you have anything like that where you're pinching yourself? Somebody you worked with who was
Oh, gosh,
a hero that you were like.
Oh, sure. Oh, all the
You can-
time.
yeah.
I still.
Can you think of anything early on or whenever?
In which way? Where I'm pinching myself because I can't believe I'm at the job, or where I can't
you're
stop
also-
myself laughing?
Both, yeah, you're corpsing or whatever.
Yeah. Well, just my audition for Jerry Maguire, I didn't believe.
Yeah, what was that
happening.
like? Let's talk about that because you're amazing.
Hilarious.
That's a great movie. And what was that? So what was that like? The audition?
Well, I didn't believe it was happening, first of all. That was hilarious to me. The fact that I was driving across town to the Sony lot because Tom Cruise was there waiting for me was high comedy to me. That was really funny.
That's great.
Yeah,
And how was he? He's a dick.
yeah.
No.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
No, everybody knows.
No, the nicest guy in the
couldn't
world. He
stand
comes up to you and he says,
After saving
gives you a
somebody's
hug.
life, obviously always saving somebody's life or doing some heroic deed on his way to work. He really did actually.
He's very. I'm saying because I auditioned with him. He was very nice.
He's so nice.
He's very accommodating. Obviously.
Yeah, and he's so present, and he's not asking you how you're doing because that's what you're supposed to do. He wants to really get to know the people that he meets, and you sense his authenticity. He's a
Yeah.
nice person.
He's
a
a
good
very
person.
nice person.
Yeah,
From what the little I.
yeah,
know
and
of him.
he taught me a lot. About
What did he teach you? Just
well, not just process and not just work, but work. I mean, his work ethic is unparalleled. He's
Yeah.
the first one there, the last one to leave.
yeah.
Things that seem like, oh, you don't need to be there. He'd be 200 feet, away, where I can't even see him because he's standing behind a flag or
Yeah.
something, but he's going to be there
Yeah.
until 1 in the morning or whatever it is. And he doesn't have to, but he'll insist,
Sometimes it's just the way people handle themselves. It's not even
There's that too.
the acting, right? It's like
No, there's that too.
just somebody has a way on set where
Yeah.
they like Tom Hanks or somebody like they're just nice. They're just good people
Yeah.
and they know how to do it.
Gentlemen, and
Yeah.
and work with gratitude and kindness that's not
Yeah.
conditional.
Yeah.
So we did the scene where he shows up drunk
Uh-huh.
We did that scene, and that was pretty surprising. And that's all I'll say about that. And we did the scene in the backyard where they're deciding not to continue as a couple. Yeah, that was.
And it felt like you had good chemistry. Did you improvise?
I liked him immediately.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I was told later that it had something to do with the tie test, the screen test with the tie.
The tie, like a necktie?
Yeah, he was screen testing a necktie, and he had
Yeah.
to change his necktie or something. And I was standing next to him, and we just had fun, playful banter or something. And I think that might have
Did
been.
you tie his tie?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
We just stood next to each other
Yeah.
and giggled a little. That
Yeah.
laughed, and that was, I think,
Yeah.
kind of it.
That's cool.
It was
Yeah.
neat. How about you? Do you have
Oh,
one
God.
of those moments where you're kicking yourself?
Yeah, I mean the screen test for Confessions with George and God, so many. Yeah, I mean we've been so lucky, you and I. Worked
Yeah.
with Gene Hackman and
Yeah.
Hilary
Oh.
Swank and
That's, yeah.
all these people, Taraji Henson, Shel Wayne, all these amazing people you get to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Frances McDormand,
Yeah.
you're pinching yourself, it's like, and you want to show up and do your best and
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't
not
it?
fail.
Right. That's the thing, is that, I don't know, it inspires you definitely to
Yeah.
want to step up.
Yeah, yeah.
God, we have been lucky, haven't we?
Oh yeah,
Man.
we're doing good,
We're
man.
doing right. Okay.
Bobby, listen to the lyrics.
They're not gonna hear that. They're not gonna hear anything. They'll be too busy looking at you. And you'll be smiling so wide. You'll be dancing so magnificently. They'll think it's a musical.
I don't know if the plan is trying to be conscious of that at all. The idea of
Yeah.
figuring out the secrets to career longevity. I don't know. I always find that there just has to be some authenticity in the journey and
Yeah.
and something that's, I don't know, worthwhile in what motivates you. Something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that I don't know. Maybe it just always has to come back to the work and the purpose of doing it, huh?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, what's that joke? You want to make God laugh, tell him your plans, There's
Right.
no plan. There's no
No.
plan. You might have an agenda, but it's really that's gonna, you don't have, you're not in charge of that. I mean, the only thing
No.
we can say is no. That's the only power we have is no,
Yeah.
which is tough because if you're broke or you want a job, you can't say no. But
But sometimes it's a good idea.
sometimes it's a good idea to say no.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't see it,
Yes.
if you wouldn't want to go and see that film, or if it just doesn't feel like there's any purpose in making it,
Yeah. Yeah.
no is pretty good.
Yeah. You got to fall in love with it. I mean, to
I
some
think.
degree.
Yeah.
You got to find a couple of components that are going to make it worth it. The people, the writing, the
Yeah.
part,
Yeah. I agree with that.
otherwise.
And finding joy in it, and
Yeah.
even when it's hard and even if it's dark or something, there has to be some kind of joy in
Yes.
telling it.
Gratitude,
story.
which is tough sometimes when you're doing a
Yeah.
17-hour day or something.
In a little plastic trailer house
Yeah.
in,
Yeah.
in sub-zero temperature, far from home.
Yes. Yes.
It's awesome, isn't it? It is.
Yeah, man.
No.
Yeah.
And that we keep wanting to
it.
do it. That's pretty
That's right.
telling, isn't it?
That's right. You get a GR with the attitude.